Right, cool, yeah. Sweet. Enjoy that. Bon appetit.
Hey, hey. Yeah.
Game. So obviously, you were one of two women in the rap game. How did that feel, first of all?
I did expect it. Because I think it's kind of like a direct reflection of the actual industry kind of ratio, if you want to say it, like in terms of there being, 4 guys and then 2 girls. So yeah, I wasn't surprised. Yeah, it wasn't too hard to navigate. I did think, it might be hard, especially I've not really lived with people before. So living with 4 guys in a penthouse, I thought that was going to be scary.
It helps that it's a penthouse.
Yeah. There's space. But the guys, these lot used to wake up early blasting music. It was just pure vibes. It was pure vibes in the morning.
What kind of time are you lot waking up? Like, is it a 6 a.m. thing or is it?
6:30.
Down.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Who was
shot
the
them.
first that was up?
Droid, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna hear Droid's mouth in the morning.
Oh my days. That doesn't surprise. Like, yeah.
No,
we just watched everything that happened in it. So everything that we might say is just based on how we
What you've seen.
all the edited footage and all the TV
exactly.
footage.
TV is very edited because they're filming us from literally 8 a.m. till sometimes 7 p.m. So there's a lot. It's interesting to see how much they actually chop out because we don't know what's going into the show and we give them everything. Even certain interviews, we even have them more than once in a way because they might ask you about something before it happens. So they'll ask you before the performance, how you feeling? Then just before you're going on stage, how did you feel about meeting? Or just before you go on, how do you feel about seeing an orchestra? Then it's okay, how do you feel about meeting Wretch? So at every point you're getting asked a question. So it's interesting to see what bits they take out to kind of create the narrative.
Yeah. How did you find that actually going into an environment where there was just cameras everywhere? There was a production team everywhere. You were being recorded and everything that you did. How did you find that?
Do you know what? I really loved it. I've been saying it made me just want to do TV again, but kind of because I went to drama school, so I kind of wanted to go back into my acting side of things. So I'm actually looking to do a little bit more of that.
Hear that, everybody?
It's coming.
Signer agents.
Let's
go.
So no, I got used to it quite quickly. The first day was very scary because you've literally got Crept, Conan, Target. Then you've got cameras, producers, the directors, all the important people in their suits, and it's just everyone around you, and the pressure was a lot on that first day. I will not lie to you, but I kind of was okay, cool. What I had to do is get friendly with everyone behind the cameras as well. So I got to know everyone. And I just took an interest as well in what everybody was doing. So it wasn't just about us that were in front of the camera, because we were all there for six weeks filming the show. Everyone's there. So we're all in this together. And that's the approach I kind of took with it, just getting to know everyone on a personal level. And that's when I got comfortable just being in front of the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sick. One of the things that I proper rate about Rat Game is that there's no elimination process.
Yes.
So it's you can watch these artists just grow throughout this, because it's meant to be 6 episodes, so 6 weeks roughly, innit? In fact, this is one thing, innit? So obviously it's 2020. COVID kind of locked off everything. I don't know if it was episode 3 or something where
halfway through.
they just went through the months April, May, June, July, and you lot didn't come back until August or something.
Crazy stuff.
For a lot of people, I know this is something that you noted as well, that they felt you had transformed or something, or you changed coming back. Did you feel that there was something or a bunch of things that really made you change from, say, the first couple of episodes, and then I think it was a performance about not the performance about anything, but the episode where you guys are all performing in the hall in Birmingham, innit? Yeah.
So I guess it's a mixture of things. So I feel like I stripped myself back a lot before I went on to Rap Game, because as I say, I can do the girly thing, but I wasn't sure whether I'd be taken seriously as a rapper going in that way. So I stripped myself back. I just came as normal Lesia, bald head, whatever. And then in lockdown, I just kind of started doing myself up a bit more as well, whilst I was back home. And I was like, do you know what? This is actually how I feel, most confident at performing. started performing in some hills. I started feeling like being higher up. I'm feeling a little bit more confident again. So yeah, my confidence was just kind of growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I had time to kind of sit back and reflect on what it was that I was doing and what I wanted to come back and do. And then the challenge that we came back on is literally my forte. Like I love to rap about, you know, things that are going on in the world. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So to come back on that challenge was another confidence boost. So I was kind of just at my all-time high coming back in, and because I then started on that level, I got in, I smashed it. I was then able to stay on that level. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it like when D Live went in on BBC?
Do you know what it is? It was everybody's faces in the room for me.
Did you not know that he was gonna like?
Yeah, did he like
that?
spit your bars, his bars first or anything?
I knew something was coming. Like I knew
Okay.
something was brewing. I could feel it, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So when that dropped, it was actually crazy. Like I remember Clapton Conan's face and Target that day where they were just like,
And Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie. I remember he just didn't know what to say at the end. He was
so
like, boom, alright, so boom.
yo, but he's very brave, and that's one thing I love about D Live. Like he always keeps it 100% real, and he says what no one else will say.
His Kenny Hill stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And you know, I think people would try to say to him, okay, I think people were thinking like, is your platform like big enough at the moment to say that? Because people will say you kind of need to have an X amount of following or have hit a certain stage in your career to take such a risk. But he did it anyway, and I don't think he's caught any backlash for it. I think it's what it is.
Like, what is the risk? What is the risk in you telling your truth? Like, if that's what you genuinely believe and feel, and you can verify that, you know, then why not say that?
Yeah, I know.
When he did, I was like, ew.
No, it was a big thing that happened in the pandemic, though. Like, seriously, it's just mad that we're on BBC right now.
It would be mad if if everyone sort of just avoided the situation. That's when I'd be like, yo, what's going on? Like, why is no one talking? Because it's been such a heavy year of just month by month. It felt like something was always happening as well. So I'm glad that like a bunch of you lot did address some of the stuff that was happening. It was dope.
Definitely.
It's good. I really did enjoy coming back on that challenge, and I think everybody did so well. Like the topics everybody picked as well were very serious topics that I think it was good that we were able to use our platform to speak about the topics that we did, and I think everybody chose very carefully, and everyone was very passionate about the challenges, the topics that they were speaking about, so that really shone through, I think, in everyone's performance.
Yeah, and I mean, yours was my favourite because it's about homelessness.
Thank you.
You won, right?
Because
that week I did win,
and we're gonna get into this as well. But that was personally one of my favourites anyway, because homelessness is something also very close to my heart. So I was like, speak the things, like you're using your platform right now where how many people are watching you, and you chose to speak about something so important that everyone can relate to. It doesn't matter like what area you're from. Unfortunately, homelessness is something that is everywhere right now, and it's getting out of hand. We've become desensitized to it
100%.
That we just walk past people on the street like, oh, okay, it's not normal. That's why I was like, yes. I think it was like that.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it in that way, where I wanted people to kind of reflect on their own actions when they see homeless people. And a lot of people have DM'd me and said, you know what, it's really true. Like sometimes you will just shrug off a homeless person, and you might look in your pocket and see that you had £1, and that £1 could have changed his whole day in a way. Like he could have got something with that, and it wasn't important to you. That £1 wouldn't have changed your life.
You didn't even know it was in your personal wallet until someone asked you about it.
For me, it's just the act of actually acknowledging that person that's asked you for help.
Always have
Because
to.
I've even heard like a homeless person said to me one time, he asked me for change, and I was like, sorry mate, I actually don't have any. And he was like, just thank you for just
honestly, because
question.
that's my thing. Sometimes I might not necessarily have the change, but I'll still have that exchange. It doesn't need to be dismissive, because everyone's a human being. If I came and had asked you a question, would you reply? Yes, probably you would.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for real. I
But
always
anyway,
think of
but
that guy who we met that time was like, reach your hand out whenever you need. And that was his statement. And it really hit, because I just thought, we always need someone at some time will always need some help. And just reach your hand out, man, because you should feel you can rely on just other people.
Humanity.
Yeah, humanity just around you to be like,
connected.
yo, help me, please.
100%.
Look on, I know you want to...
Yeah, because I want to get into this.
I know you want to do this thing, innit?
You won that challenge, yeah? Fair and square.
Indeed.
Yeah? And then obviously there were some comments that were made that people felt like you should have someone else should have won or other people should have won. And I felt like you handled that really well
Thank
at
you.
the time. However, in me, I was thinking,
yeah.
how was that like moment? Like how what was going through your head? Because I mean, one part of you might have wanted to be like, excuse me, and then one part must have thought like, nah. Like how was that?
Do you know what it is? I 100% saw it coming before because I will say this from now. Ranking day was my least favorite day. As I said earlier, that I'm a bit of an empath, so I take on other people's emotions. So no matter where I was, I would always basically not be happy because no one else would be happy.
Okay, yeah.
So it was just
No
never.
one
It was
ever
just.
happy
It was just
unless
never
they
good
won it.
vibes on ranking day.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah, like so
No
when I
one's
came
ever
third,
happy.
I was like always happy for everybody else because I think, or maybe I kept sitting at fourth. I think for the first 2 weeks, and then I shot up to number one. But yeah, I kind of knew it was coming because I knew ranking day is just like that. But at the same time, I didn't expect the between me and you comment. So that was quite interesting. But Graft actually came to have a chat with me afterwards and was just like, look, that's not how I feel. I feel like, you know, you did your thing. So like, just don't worry about any of those
So
comments.
did anyone else have a conversation with you after the comment then? Obviously not naming like...
Yeah.
Well, okay. Anyway, it seems like also you and Graft had a really nice friendship on there. Like how, like did you sort of just click right from the start? Like what was it? Did you have like a mutual...
So
like, what was it?
to be honest, me and Graf never really like interacted that hard, I would say, until
Okay.
we had to write Backyard. So it was like, okay, we got put together and we had a feeling we were going to get put together. So we started having those like conversations and then we had to work together quite closely. And that's when I really got to know him, saw that he was like, you know, a cool guy, that we had a lot of similarities in the way that we are as people. He's also a Gemini T.
Oh, is
so
he?
yeah, there's like
Come
4
on,
Geminis
come
in
on,
the
come on,
house.
Come on. Well, Zone's a Gemini as well.
No, so
Oh,
me,
I'd say top 3
Shogun,
Geminis.
D Live, and Graft were
Really?
Geminis. Yeah. So there will literally be times where us 4 would be sat on the sofa watching a movie, and I'd look around and be like, "Hey, Gemini."
Yeah, you're already feeling it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just
I
gravitate
didn't
to
know.
each other.
I thought Graft's... I thought it would have been like a Pisces or something.
Does this kind of like diminish?
Do you not see the Gemini
Gemini
vibes? Like he went from Backyard to Bonnet Gal. You look like Paul Pogba. You're like, that is
He went
Gemini.
in,
Switch, like-
in it, the switch
Yeah,
there. Yeah. Okay, now we think about it. You're right.
But okay, that's out the window.
No.
We're not compatible.
I know you're actually gonna cry when you get home
No,
with
because
that.
I had a little soft spot for Graft.
No, Graft is really cool. He's really cool, and he was always like really supportive, like making sure that I was good, and yeah, it was good friendship. Definitely,
Yeah.
like definitely made some like long time friends in the penthouse, not just going in as a competition. So that was good. Like even when there were days where things weren't always, you know, great, the day would kind of always end with us, you know, having a glass of Henny and calling it a day. Do you know what I mean?
Did you turn up together?
100%.
Really?
100%.
Oh.
You think
Every
after
day.
that orchestra challenge we didn't pop a bottle? Yes, we did.
That's
After
jokes.
meeting Wretch.
Is it like after every task you lot would just turn up like, yo, we done it?
It's
Like,
not even
no.
every task because there will be days where not everyone is happy with the way that they did. So sometimes the drink would be to drown the sorrows.
Okay,
Sometimes
yeah.
it's to turn up, but it just
Yeah.
depends
Dim
on how the
lights,
day
like
went.
red wine.
Yeah.
Quiet vibes, all of that.
Yeah.
It all depends on that, yeah.
Oh, I wish I was like a fly on the wall in that penthouse. See the turn ups.
In grass room, you mean?
Maybe.
Say less.
Anyway, what would you say was like the highlight for you in rap game? Bar the ending, obviously, like you came out, as far as I'm concerned, like top 2, definitely.
Do you know what?
Say it.
I feel like it's an interesting one because I feel like the highlight for me was being able to meet the legends that I met on the show and being able to receive feedback from them and let them hear the art that I'm making and kind of hear them say,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. Like, for example, like I listen to a lot of Dino, I listen to a lot of Miss Banks, I listen to JME, I listen to Wretch, and they're all hearing my music and saying, wow, like you're
Yeah.
great. So that was definitely a highlight for me. I've definitely come out of that feeling a lot more confident in the music that I'm making because it's these people that I've been looking up to like for years. Even strip it back and say Krept and Conan. Like I've got a cover of their Fire in the Booth Part 2 on YouTube that I filmed almost a decade ago. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm in front of them and they're saying, look, Lesia, you're going to go far in this game. So it's just kind of crazy just to have that experience, really. The whole thing was just surreal.
So, do you feel like out of some of those names who you revere, you had like some immediate chemistry with any of them, or you felt like, okay, I know that this is something that we could build into some form of professional relationship or anything?
Yeah, I'd definitely say Miss Banks. She kind of
That'd be cold. I
Yeah.
can hear it.
Yeah.
100%. Like when I was doing my mic check, the producer was saying that she was running out to hear who was singing the song. But obviously with that challenge, we couldn't see who the guest artist was before because she was in another room.
Yeah.
So they had to literally hold her back from coming to see like who was singing Pina Colada. So she literally came to me afterwards and was like, look, I heard you're in the top spot right now. Keep doing you. Like, you're amazing. And she kind of just had that moment with me. So I do feel like, you know, once I've hit a certain point, I'll be able to connect with her again and get that tune. I just don't think like right now is the right time yet. I still think there's things I need to do first.
Planted the seeds though.
Yeah,
man, and that's what's
the
important,
seed is
isn't it?
planted,
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. So have you got like, besides from your own accomplishments and stuff, as you said, you're an empath, what have been like your favorite moments from the show? Were there either people's tasks or performances you're like, you just went in, like any of that?
Well, Zone's final performance, like that almost made me cry. Like honestly.
Literally, when I was like, oh, I wish Zones brought this out earlier, that side of Zones, because I felt like
There was a
she
part of me that
really...
felt good that she left it till the last.
Do you know what it is?
I know,
I
at
think
the
with
same
the
time.
with the final, I feel like what everybody did is they took on all the feedback because there's a lot of feedback that you
Journey.
guys didn't get to hear, obviously because of the way it's chopped down. And I feel like everybody just took on all the feedback that we'd been getting and put it into their tune. Like with Zones, one thing that they said to her is that they wanted more emotion, like they wanted to hear more about her story. So she gave them like everything, do you get what I mean? And she really put that passion into that performance. Like I could hear it in her voice. And all of us were upstairs just like, wow, do you know what I mean? We were all taken away. So yeah, definitely that performance. Graf's orchestra performance
When he
was
went away, came
sick,
back.
yeah.
I was
Hard.
like,
The energy in the room.
I had to rewind just to be like,
Do you know what?
Let me catch
Do
this
you know what
again.
I've watched too much that I feel a bit like, why have I watched this so much?
Thank you.
Was the video that you've all done? The music.
you know what?
I've watched that. So, I don't know what it is. The energy
It's
in that
sick.
video.
Thank you.
It's sick.
Do you know what? I even that video it's even went viral as well. Like it's doing
Sick.
rounds on GRM. Like it's doing this thing.
Dope.
Sick.
Thank
Dope.
you.
Like I personally, I don't know how they I can't remember who won that one because
It was Graft, yeah.
but because I thought everyone
Everyone went in.
delivered.
Everyone,
It
'cause
was sick.
It's
It
a
was
shame
such
we
a
only had 8
showcase of
bars.
all of your characters though, which was sick. I know obviously you had the trouble with your outfit and like it came last
Pretty
minute, so
little
you had to just be like,
thing.
yo, I'm doing this in 15 minutes, kind of
for
thing.
real.
You
But
did it though.
yeah, it still came out.
I feel like
cold.
I didn't achieve exactly what I was trying to achieve. And I do feel like I could have come higher in the rankings if my idea was executed a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I was really trying to get that clean TikTok snap
yeah.
transitions. But obviously,
You had limit.
we only had
limit
half an
time.
hour, yeah.
But they clocked you as well though.
yeah, they did. They clocked that the bars, you know, related to the clothes that I was wearing. But there's been like a lot of people online and stuff, like in the YouTube comments, like, oh, that's not very TikTok-y. Like we see where she was trying to go, but then I don't think they understand that, you know, I kind of put an idea out there, but left it to the editor because I don't
Yeah.
think it's actually Jade that actually edits it. It's, she has like a team
Right.
that does it. Yeah.
Yeah. You got some real
do.
critiques out there, you know. Like
I
you
know.
do,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
There's always someone who's got to say something, man.
Do you know
Stuff.
what I
Critiques
mean?
for me.
I did really like that video.
No, the video
Oh,
was
I,
hard.
honestly,
Everyone's like, I always get gassed when I listen to it now.
sick.
I think I really like Shogun's verse for some reason.
the way when he started as well. Wait,
Like
who-
Shogun's verse is
Yeah.
stuck
I
in my
love that.
He was
head.
like, baby, come
Baby,
in.
we're
And I
gonna
thought,
do-
yo, it's
Yeah,
a
baby,
Hey,
back
no,
on
no,
that
10
bit.
millimeters,
No,
my
no,
name,
no,
but it's still
no,
shut out, like I don't know, sure.
Nah,
Yeah,
he's
slappy.
sick.
D-Live, the way he started the
The
whole
way he
set
started.
page.
Bitch, I
Yeah.
love to
And
start.
enjoyed
Love
it. Then the way they did his,
The
yeah,
Birmingham
it was
bit
hard.
with it.
Love it.
Yeah.
But-
And then
And then-
Zones with her cube.
This is what I mean. Zones. I thought, shit.
Boss,
Nah.
innit?
Boss.
Vibes on
greasy,
vibes.
man.
It was so
All greasy.
sick. I was stood in my kitchen, like in the middle, watching. And I was like,
Hey.
no, honestly, I was so
Everyone going
glad.
in, man. Trust me.
So good, so
Trust me.
good.
Have you heard a lot of criticism about the show generally? No. good because
Only
I feel
at the
like I always try and plug
beginning.
it. Like, no, it's good. Like, watch it.
Hmm?
No, because whenever I mention it to someone, the Rap Game UK, a lot of people are like, I don't know about all of that. And
Okay.
admittedly, because I watched the first season as well, but before I watched it, I did think, is this? I was skeptical.
Skeptical.
That's the
Yeah,
word,
that's
innit? I
the
was
word.
skeptical, innit? Because I was like, is this gonna be a bit cringy or whatever? But first season, I loved it. Second season, I feel like they elevated everything. Like the contestants, the way they just made everything so fluid, everything just elevated. So for me, if anyone does like question the integrity of something like the Rap Game, for me, I find it very easy to be like, no, you should go and watch it. Like, have you found there to be a lot of criticism about just the show or you being on like a quote unquote TV game show or whatever?
Not really. Like the only stuff I started seeing was literally before the show dropped and everyone just judged us prematurely. Then the first episode, obviously 3 of us forgot our bars. So that wasn't a good look for the show because it was kind of like, okay, are these guys serious? Are these really the best rappers in the UK? But that was kind of on us to bring that back. So anything that was being said in that first week, it was just like, okay, fairs, we did mess up. But then as we brought it back, it was like, no, these guys are hard. And you know the British public love a comeback story. They love a comeback. So
But
it's
I
been
like the
good.
fact that you saw that at the beginning though, because it reminded you that like your people, like you're on a journey here. Like you haven't just plucked like some signed artists from where, like I thought it was part of it, even though it's difficult to watch because you're rooting for people. Do you know what I mean? But I thought it added to it. Like, this is the Rap Game. Like,
No, it is real.
People
It's
do
real
forget
life.
their
Yeah,
bars.
it's true.
Do you know, have you ever forgotten your bars ever?
Never.
Oh.
Do you know what though? You're
And it
never.
sounds like never.
The Rap Game is weird because you're never really. It's actually funny, like, because before Rap Game, I'd never been in a situation where I had to write and remember bars in 24 hours. But since leaving the Rap Game, I've had situations now where people have said, look, I need you to do this, but this is going to be in 2 days. So will you be able to write and remember bars in 2 days? And I'm confident enough to say, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
How has it been for you after Rap Game now?
It's been busy. It's me just trying to kind of get my music out, get the people that I want to move forward with now. So basically create my team, a solid team that understand the vision. Also kind of not saying yes to everything that comes my way because there's a lot. So you kind of got to filter out what's going to be best for the brand as well, kind of thing. But it's been good. The momentum hasn't stopped yet, so that's a good shout. And it's just about keeping going, like keeping the work rate up, because I think there's this misconception that once you go on a TV program, that's the end of that, and you kind of get your followers and you're just famous. But it's not that. You have to kind of translate those viewers into fans in a way, and you got to keep them with you. So the next project that I now drop is obviously very important because everybody's waiting to see if I'm going to come hard after being on Rap Game.
It's almost like the beginning of a new level now. Like, okay, next level of the game.
That's right. I keep saying the hard work starts now. For me personally, like I'm putting in the hard work, and I'm happy now that I've kind of got the freedom to, like, I got given the platform to showcase my talent and my personality. People are kind of rocking with me, and now it's time to kind of put that hard work in and show people what I can really do without having those time constraints or being under that 24-hour pressure or the pressure of living with other people and maybe not being in my comfort zone. Like, I'm now in my element and being able to create art that I love and that I feel like my fans are gonna love. And I'm just hoping that they do love what I do put out next.
Sick. What are you like from this point onwards? What are you most looking forward to then? Is it like the releases of music? Is it live performances? What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I would say live performances. Like, I was actually planning to put on a live show, but it just didn't make sense to do it on this side of the year, just because with half capacity at the moment, I would have to sell the tickets at like £45 a head. Yeah, exactly, to be able to make any
Yeah.
to pay the band, because me, I'm a live band girl. Like, you're gonna get a live band with me, so I've got to pay the band. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, hopefully next year I can do that, because for me, live music is where I love, like, that's what I love doing, because I come from that theatrical background. I just love being on the stage. I love being with my guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Also shooting Any I Can See video on the 19th. So I'm really looking forward to that video coming out. I kind of always, I've got Save Me Out, and that was shot by a filmmaker called Kayvon. So I'm also using a filmmaker for this video, and I'm gonna try and keep that trend as well of making actual movies. Do you know what I mean? Like that
I'm
people.
excited.
Cold.
I'm excited.
Cold.
So I'm excited to see how people perceive that image, that video, because it's going to be very different from Save Me. I feel like I've changed a lot as an artist since Save Me. And then I've got another song coming out called Fell in Love, so that's going to be kind of a follow on from Any I Can See, and that song is, you guys are going to love that one as well.
Yeah. Hey, come on.
Come on now.
Looking forward to it all, man.
And you
Honestly.
mentioned earlier that there's other like kind of avenues that you want to go down as well. What are can you like give us some?
Yeah.
What are those?
So I definitely want to go down a fashion route at some point.
100 makes sense.
Yeah, the SWAGALESiA brand is coming through strong. So I don't know if you've seen my Instagram. I've been doing.
Go on, tell us about SWAGALESiA, please,
Yeah.
innit?
Do you know what? SWAGALESiA actually came in my audition for Rap Game. Like, I was they made me write bars about why they should pick me. So I made a bar called, I said, image, self-proclaimed fashionista. They call me SWAGALESiA, corobliente, camasita, versatility. Nothing that you couldn't throw at me that I could
Spanish
easily
tutor
make it to
coming
a
in.
hit and kill it. Call that shit a tragedy. So it kind of
Jeez.
stuck from there. And I've always been a fashion head. Like, I love fashion. Like, fashion's very important to me. As I said, like, some of my idols are like IMDb. Then I've got, you know, the Rihanna, because she's just an icon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all a bit of me. And I've always wanted to mix my fashion brand with my music. So I've been trying to basically merge them for a while. And SWAGALESiA basically just happened on Rap Game, and we just saw her grow
For real.
as it went on. And I kind of came back and watched Rap Game, and I was like, whoa, this brand is strong. Like, even if you listen to some of my lyrics, even in Any I Can See, like that first 8 bar is kind of about me getting ready, getting dressed to go to a party. I kind of always inject it into my music.
Yeah.
Like, fashion is also in the tunes, like even Pina Colada, like it's always in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what they need to bring more of? Or maybe it's not been done yet, and maybe I'm plugging an idea that I should monetize.
That's for yourself,
Figure it
innit?
out
Yeah, go
for
on.
free. But you know how like Victoria's Secret, they had their performances with the fashion show. Rihanna done it recently with Savage Fenty. But when you're doing a concert, that can low-key be a fashion show as well. You know?
I would love to do something like that.
I think people should start doing that more.
Trust
Look
me.
at,
I've already thought about this. And I'm
No.
just gonna say,
No.
so
But honestly, that's what I think
say
in my
less.
head a lot of the time. Like, when I'm performing, I want people running the runaway.
Yeah, that's
no,
it.
for
Do you know
real,
what I
for
mean?
real.
Like,
For real, for
why
real.
not? Because they're wearing someone's clothes. Why not my clothes?
For
You know what I
real.
mean?
For real. It's a business idea.
Isn't it? Exactly.
business.
Remember, I said it first. Let me say afterwards he's been thinking about that. But anyone would say that, wouldn't they? But anyway, that's what we need.
It
We
is
all
what it
need to.
is.
It is what
We
it
all need to start doing that now.
Just.
So,
But
yeah.
okay, so there's fashion, there's the music, the rapid acting.
Yeah, definitely acting. Also script writing as well. Yeah, so
Yes.
I did a module on script writing. So I would compare my writing style to maybe Spike Lee. Like, I like to use like rhyming schemes and very poetic. And when I was in drama school, they didn't quite get me.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, this is not how you write a play. Because I had like written a whole play where like each character had their own speech pattern. So you could now tell who
nice.
was speaking just by the way that they spoke.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but in drama school, they're a bit like, okay,
Yeah, but
cool.
drama school
This is
is
not
also
how
good,
this is not how you write a play. So I kind of had to switch up that whole play, but use the same storyline, but just write it in a different way. But I kind of still held on to that, and I knew that when I left drama school, if I ever went to do that, I was still writing that way, even though they said that it was shit, basically. Well, I had to do what I had to write in their way to graduate. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how education works.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Conform.
as I said, I don't like being confined to boxes. So Yeah, definitely. So I'd love to get back into acting, being on screen, and then writing some stuff as well.
You're
So-
busy. You've been very, very busy.
Step by step. But you know what? I always said, like when I graduated, we had to do like a presentation on what we got from Central and what we're going to do afterwards. So my plan was always to make a name for myself in the music industry first and kind of have that solid brand, and then go back to my drama roots after I'd done that. So maybe set up some workshops, all-inclusive workshops for children, because drama was really a safe space for me. And I feel like we need a lot more of that. But I want to wait till my platform's a lot bigger so I can do a lot more.
Yeah. Almost like, well, I know Asher D, he started off on stage, then got into the music and rapping, then went back to his acting stuff. And he set up his own like drama school. I can't remember, I can't remember what it's called, but
He's definitely done that.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. Yeah, he's kind of, it's mad as well that you have to like pick like where you want to go first, and you love it all, because I'm the same. Like, love acting, writing, all of that. Basically, I just like being on stage.
Yeah.
I like, we spoke about it as well, I like a platform. Do you know what I mean? But it's like you do kind of have to strategically pick
which way
what
you go.
do, what you execute first,
For real.
in order to then execute the others.
Yeah, because I think I did think that music would probably be the quickest one for me in that sense. Like, you know, if I worked at drama, maybe it could have taken off, but I feel like it would have taken a bit longer. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to do acting for film and television or theatre. So because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to go with it, I was like, cool, let me get the degree in teaching and then come back to it. And with Applied Theatre and Education, you kind of, they give you so much. Like, they teach you about like gender, politics, like as well as actual drama. So you learn a lot of that stuff, and it kind of changes your perspective on what you want to do. Like I got into second year and I was just like, I want to just change the world with drama. Do you know what I mean? Can I just be a teacher? Like maybe I need to do something else. And that's when I realised, you know, I think that I wanted to just create a bigger platform and then come back to it and help people out with that.
Sick.
Sick.
There's so much on the horizon, which is so dope, man. So dope.
Thank you.
And I feel like as independent curators as well, it's integral for us to like just do not as many things as possible, but like find our spaces, because we're never just like so singular or binary. It's one or two things. It's just there's always so much going on up here that we got to express in a whole different way when it comes to actually doing it. And
because most artists are like that. They're in everything, aren't they? Like some of them draw, some of them make clothes. Like
this one does everything.
Everything.
Presenter on BBC, doing a podcast or two, doing music. She was a poet, now she's singing as well. She even played me a song before. She's rapping a bit now.
No.
We heard you rap earlier on in this podcast, though. You had bars.
You know? It's a bit bari.
Grind flows.
It's a bit bari, so
Don't
I'm like,
forget it.
I need to make sure I'm doing enough to keep up. Like,
No, come on now.
a lot's going on.
Change. Anyway, enough about me, please. Would you say, because we touched upon this in our first two episodes, but would you say you have a sense of purpose in like, well, what would you say your sense of purpose is in like what you do? Like, does it all kind of tie things together? Like, yeah,
I'm just trying to spread a positive message. I want people to feel good about themselves. Like, if you look on my Instagram, my message is always like uplifting people, and just letting people know what I do to uplift myself, because I know a lot of people are kind of they've watched my journey and they saw me grow, so I'm kind of trying to still give those tips out as well, and I just want to continue doing that, because I want people to feel good. I want people to listen to my music and feel good, so I'm always going to be trying to make feel good music.
That's dope.
it is. Would you also, because I think that's quite a conscious decision to make in terms of like, I want to put out a positive message, as opposed to maybe people that might not put out positive messages. That might not be a conscious decision of theirs. So like, what was the journey in that decision? Is it because you were seeing so many negative things being put out there, or?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a very positive person, and I think my music is just a direct reflection of who I am. So that's just why that's what I put out.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Simple. Positive, and you want to give out positivity.
That's it.
Easy.
I got a question as well.
Have you?
I do. I have loads of questions, but I'm going to keep it to this one, innit? Are there parts of your story that you don't feel like get revealed, maybe because you don't have the right platform to do so, or because you haven't had the right opportunity or anything?
Or you've not been asked the right question.
Yeah, do you feel like there's stuff that you feel like people need to know this about me, or about what I'm thinking, or about my journey?
That's a good.
That is a really good question.
I kept it just a bit humble. But I was like, let me attack.
Do you know what? I feel like I'm a very open person, to be honest. Like, a lot of my life is in my music as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to my bars, like, more time you know what's good. So yeah, I don't really feel like that. I wouldn't say, not at the moment. Anyway.
That's good. And even if you did come to that point, you'd bring it up yourself anyway, or like mention it.
Yeah, I think I've been given like good platforms to tell my story.
Yeah.
So far, it's all been good so far. Yeah.
No, that's good, man. That's good. Because I know with artists, and maybe I'm speaking about myself here, actually, like, although I do it through music, sometimes I find it the easy way to do it. And like sitting down and talking about certain things, it's not always the easiest format for me to express how I'm truly feeling about stuff sometimes. So maybe that's something you've been through, but I don't know, innit? But it sounds like, yeah, you express yourself when and where you're ready to do so, innit?
Yeah. I think the only time, like, obviously with Rap Game, I think the situation with my mum maybe was misinterpreted by some people ever so slightly because of how much they chopped out.
Okay.
So, you know, it kind of made it seem as though maybe she wasn't in my life. She wasn't happy with me doing music. And yeah, she didn't want me to do it. So, but the situation was more that I kind of got bullied in school. That caused me to act up at home. And because I was acting up at home, she couldn't handle that and then sent me to live with my dad. So then my dad like dealt with me throughout my most of my teenage years and then started managing me, doing music, and then I kind of went down that route. But I feel like the way that Rap Game edited it, it made it seem like she's like not involved in my life and this and that. But it's not that. It's just mother and daughter. We had hard times, and you know. But you know, for TV, they've got to make it more dramatic.
Okay, yeah.
But then that kind of caused an impact in my family home, because I then had to deal with the backlash that got, where it was like, okay, you've made me out to look like this, and I'm like, I promise you, this is not how this conversation went. They've chopped it to make it more dramatic.
Yeah.
And the sad music doesn't help. The sad music doesn't help. I know, honestly.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, at least you cleared. Like, that's all been cleared now, and it's editing. The power of editing.
I'm telling you.
Power of editing.
Which we're gonna do for you as well.
Yeah.
Put some violins. That's it.
Jokers.
But yeah.
Yeah, we've had the knock. So
yeah, we've had the knock.
let's be real, we've had the
Chucked
knock.
out.
In it, but yo, Leash, thank you so much for coming.
This
through,
has
man.
been amazing,
Honestly, like,
guys.
it's been good to
Thank
just chop it
you.
up, really get to like hear your story, hear where you're coming from, hear where you're intending to go as well. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that I'm like watching you on Rap Game. It feels like I got to know you a bit just on that
Definitely.
process. So I felt proud of like, oh, she got to the final, smashed it, and
Yeah.
just seeing you here, I'm like, oh, she's
Honestly,
cool.
like you coming through the door, I feel like I knew you a little bit already.
For real, like we've
'cause I knew-
already been hanging out and that.
I
So
love that.
it's special, man.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being our first guest.
Yeah.
Thanks for
and
having me,
hopefully,
guys.
you know,
I'm honoured, honestly.
honestly, we're gonna like cross communicate in different avenues as well and
Yeah.
everything. But for now, if you want to just plug yourself, just so people make sure they follow you and all that.
Yeah, so it's Lesia, Miss SWAGALESiA. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter.
That's random,
To be
but-
honest, Twitter is at SWAGALESiA, SWAGALESIA.
We'll put something.
You put something
In the
there,
description of
you
the
know. I just made Twitter, so allow me. And then on Instagram, I am LESIA LAND _. Yeah, so that's me, Lesia Land. Boom.
But all right.
Jeez. Well,
And we
thank
got
you everyone
impacts as well,
listening today.
In fact,
Thank
chats,
you.
here we go. Yeah, thank you guys.
And make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
No, you're funny. Like, share, and
It's all right.
subscribe.
It's all right.